Business and Financial Times. Just on the State of the Union address, China has come back and described the electric car subsidies as a naked protectionist act that will seriously disrupt and distort the global automotive industry supply chain. Any comment on those remarks, the response from China, and is there recognition that this could disrupt access for EU consumers to EVs, which are key to the green transition in Europe?
Thank you for the question, Ian. I can invite, of course, Miriam on the podium to talk you through a bit about the process. But as you know, the State of the Union address was yesterday, and the President announced the launch of the investigation, but it's very early days in terms of anticipating anything else that comes down the road.
Maybe a bit more information on the context of this announcement. As you know, according to our EU legislation, it will only allow sales of zero-emission new vehicles by 2035, which is leading to a profound structural change in the car industry. And we see that battery electric vehicles are rapidly increasing their share in the European market. So our market is open to all imports, and we don't have very high duties compared to other markets for imports of electric vehicles from third countries. So we have seen a growing concern in the European Union market because of the increased growth of Chinese low-priced exports of electric vehicles, which is happening due to massive public subsidies by the Chinese state. And these exports are targeting the EU market very aggressively, and that is why, because of the evidence that we have been able to gather over the last months, we have checked databases, market studies, and we have seen that there is actually this increase that could potentially cause an injury and threat to cause an injury to the EU industry, that the President announced yesterday the initiation of an investigation. The investigation has not started yet. We will first publish a notice in the official journal with the details, with the procedure, but this will be carried very thoroughly, consulting all relevant parties, and also we will pre-consult with the Chinese authorities because we want to have the chance to first discuss with them to see what can be done to address the situation.
Thank you, Miriam. Any additional questions on this? Yes, please go ahead.
Jarno Hartikainen, Helsingin Sanomat, Finland. This might be a silly question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. If you already know that the Chinese manufacturers are benefiting from massive state aids, what is it exactly that keep the prices artificially low? What is it exactly that you are investigating? Thank you.
So first of all, we want to really undertake a fully transparent process and in line with rule of law. So we are doing this on the basis of the TDI instruments, trade defense instruments, that are compatible with WTO legislation. So we launch an investigation which has different steps, and we have a process which we have to respect. And this process, as I said, involves consultations with the Chinese authorities and with the relevant stakeholders, be it those that are producing the cars and exporting to the European Union to sell them here, or be it those that could potentially be affected by these cheap exports. So we want to gather all the evidence to have a grounded case, and then eventually, after a period of 9 months, we could potentially apply provisional duties, and after a maximum of 30 months since the initiation, so 4 months later, we could apply definite duties if there is a determination that there is a threat of injury for the EU car industry.
Thank you. Mose.
Yes, I'm also a bit interested in this question because I wonder if we want to speed up this transition to electric vehicles, is it not then necessary to subsidize them in the beginning? And I think that many member states are doing that. I mean, so that the consumers will buy them instead of combustion vehicles. So from that point of view, I mean, if there is a demand for cheap Chinese electrical vehicles, maybe that's not so bad for the transition to air mobility in the EU. Thank you.
Indeed, the transition to a green economy is very important, and electric cars play a key role, but it's important also, as the President underlined yesterday, to have a race to the bottom for the subsidies, and we want to avoid that. What we are seeking is fair competition and to level the playing field. These are the two key issues that we will look at during this investigation, and if we see that they are actually unfair trade practices, which are leading to a situation that can threaten the European industry, we will act accordingly.
Thank you. One more question about this. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to insist, but can you give us one concrete example of Chinese subsidies that distort the competition?
Unfortunately, I'm not able to provide this information because, as you know, this is all confidential, and also we need to gather further evidence during the investigation process where we allow the parties to participate and to provide also their own data. So until we don't have the full picture, we cannot really comment on specific examples.
Thank you. Any other questions for Miriam? I don't see any, so thank you, Miriam. We can now take other questions if you have anything else. Yes, go ahead.